Hi everyone. I was thinking lately how I truly appreciate the good, the caring, and wonderful men in my life. The men that always told me how it is, the men that are honest and care truly for my well being, no matter how they look and no matter how I may perceive them at a certain point. They will tell it how it is. They will say and do their best to care for me and care for the ones around them, care for themselves, and place healthy limits and boundaries so that they are not simply a thing to be taken for granted or someone to be used, because I think there's a lot of that in our culture. People take for granted good men, honest and hardworking men, and you see a lot of people on the internet. Well, a lot. I would say like more so of an active minority, especially women, right? We see a lot of women on the internet talking shit about men. Oh, men ain't shit or whatever. And that is a very dishonest thing to say, obviously. It's like saying all women are hoes or whatever. That's a very dishonest thing to say. Because we know damn well that if your grandma was a hoe, she wouldn't be here. If your father was trash, or if your grandfather was trash, he wouldn't be here with you or whatever. Obviously, we have a lot of different cases. There are people that are not, emotionally mature enough, or they're not responsible enough, and they had a child, and now you grew up in circumstances that are not as beneficial to you as someone that would have a loving father or a loving mother to be here with you and to nourish you in all ways that they could. And so I wanted to just remind and express my appreciation for the wonderful men in my life, my men, from whom I reflect a lot and with whom I learn a lot and am able to sort of come to reality a lot of times, especially when I'm angry or mad or I'm stuck in a certain point of view that is simply not beneficial for myself. But because I'm in such a emotional state, I'm not seeing that at the moment, and he's the one that brings me to my senses and tells me how it is, and many times lets me know that I'm disregarding him, or I am, not appreciating him enough for his actions, because I'm so stuck in a certain perspective that I don't see the wonderful things and the hard work he's put in. And so I think it is important to appreciate that kind of behavior and reward appreciate and love the willingness of our wonderful men and amazing, loving men, of being kind, gentle, but still straight up to the point and honest about a lot of unhinged behaviors that a lot of us have as women, for instance. And not only women, right? But I'm talking here from my perspective because I see that a lot, that there are women that they get with these guys. And I also did got with a guy like that, right? That they are sort of dishonest. They hide things from you. They don't call you out for your bullshit. And they just go away instead of calling you out for it and making it clear how they feel, making it clear how they are feeling disregarded or taken advantage or taken for granted. These men that are dishonest, they just leave. They don't have time for that because it all has to do with sort of this emotional maturity and the willingness to wanting to make things right. And I'm going to say how it is, and if you don't like it, and if you have something to, if you continue in your dumbass mood, for instance, this is like an example, right? You are like moody, whatever, and you're acting really dumb, really stupid, like you know, why didn't you do this, all that, blah, 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 whilst he did a whole bunch of other stuff, right? And putting up a mood just for that is like, what are you doing? You can say, listen, I felt this way, but if you are acting up and like going all crazy for a task or for something they didn't say or said or didn't do or do, honest and good men will tell you how it is. They will be honest and they will be like, listen, I did this, that, and a third, I'm still doing this, and you haven't thought about what I will be doing next. Like, I'm planning to, I don't know, go to this place at that time, don't you remember? And I have these plans. And many times we may lack the perspective, or we just are not thinking about certain things that they are. And I think it's incredibly important to listen and to understand how your man feels, or the wonderful and loving and honest men in your life feel, and what they are thinking about, because many times they are thinking about things that we are not, or they are considering things that we aren't. And so listening and appreciating that they were honest and they told you and they opened up, and instead of just running away and shutting down and whatever, and go away and leaving us in this sort of still mood, they let us know how it is. And that to me is incredibly important. Calling us out on our bullshit is incredibly important. Just how we call them on their bullshit is incredibly important. And so being willing to listen and to accept that there are things that we are absolutely not perfect about. Just the same as the other way around. It's just really about being honest. And when you are honest, even if you are wrong, even if you are, not seeing things clearly, there is still a open connection to communicate and to understand each other and to understand each other's perspective and to resolve and to bring ourselves to a point where we can communicate and understand each other so that we can build a even stronger connection rather than just shut down and go away and not communicate. So I think it's incredibly important. I see a lot of women that just haven't gotten called out for their bullshit because a lot of the men that they have surrounded themselves with are not even willing to, The moment she comes up with some bullshit, get the fuck out of here. And I understand it's a lot about internal work, and it's a lot about how mature you are in certain areas, or how fed up are you with someone's behavior until it comes a point where you don't even want to talk with them. Many times those women that are now surrounded with men that they will not call them out for their bullshit, or they won't listen, is because they have drove off all those good men in their life that were calling out on their bullshit, but they didn't listen. Oh no, you are the problem, right? Many times we may be so stuck up in our own feelings or in our own point of view that we're gonna be like, no, it's you are the problem, or I'm the victim here, being in this weird-ass victim mentality. And so in consequence, driving off good men that are willing to be honest with you, but you spend so much time just acting up that they don't want to put up with it. And so it's incredibly important for us as women and just as a society to reward and to appreciate the good and honest men in our lives and in our society, and to listen, to communicate, and to appreciate how incredibly important it is to have people that will be there for themselves, that will be there for you, the same way as you reward yourself, and putting up boundaries in front of others that are not appreciating your work, and being honest about that and telling them how it is. And if they continue acting up, you start leaving those type of circumstances, because there comes a time where if they don't listen enough, they continue with their bullshit. There is a certain point where you yourself can't do anything to change them, and if you stay there, you will start becoming crazy yourself, toxic yourself, or you will be shutting down, and that's no good for a relationship. So I just really wanted to make that point, and let me know in the comments what you think. If you came to this point, thank you so much for joining me today. And yeah, I will see you all very soon. Make sure to check out my link tree in the description to see my work. I showed this mask on the previous video, but it was really in the end, so here it is again. This one is sold already, but if you want one for yourself, make sure to let me know. And we can make something unique and perfect just for you. And I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye bye.